This has been a huge labor of love, not just from me, but from many, many people, different boards of directors from this. That original group of people that sat around my kitchen table and said, you know, there's a need in our community, and we think we could make a difference here. We didn't have any idea what we were doing, but we knew there was a need, and we were all brave enough to say, let's try it. And I've told many people this, but the truth is, the reason that we've been successful, even from that very beginning, is that nobody ever told us we couldn't do that.
My relationship goes back to the very beginnings of Animal Trustees. We had them on a segment on the weekends, Pet of the Week. And there was such a need for such a clinic. It hadn't really existed before. And so people in the community that really couldn't afford to take their animals to veterinarians on a regular basis, even keep them, vaccinated properly, they had nowhere to turn. And so, out of the blue, back in the 90s, this wonderful idea develops that we need a clinic like that. And so it has become an invaluable resource in the community.
Well, I was impressed from the very beginning, 21 years ago, when I stumbled upon Animal Trustees of Austin and became a volunteer and a supporter. And I am even more impressed now. The work that they're doing is incredible. They fill this hole in the community that is so wide.
Every day, the folks show up at the shelter willing to surrender their pet to the city. Because there's something that the animal needs that they can't afford to provide. And Animal Trustees partners with us by allowing us to refer those folks over to Animal Trustees so they can get the care they need and stay in their home.
That was the one thing, is the animals would get surrendered all the time to the shelter for reasons like that, hit by cars, broken legs, things like that people couldn't afford. So our goal was always to try to help these animals, number one, and by helping them, we get to keep those animals in their homes instead of being in a shelter situation.
I can't tell you how wonderful it is for me to see people that have animals that they didn't think there was anything that could be done. And we have said, oh, sure there is.
They have a fracture, they have a bump on the leg, a wound repair. We don't turn them away. We find a way to make it happen, and we help them.
The best thing in the world is knowing that every single dog and every single cat, I can say, I promise you that if there's anything I can do, when you leave here, your life is going to be better.
For sure, Animal Trustees saved my cat's life. Without Animal Trustees, that he wouldn't be alive today.
Animal Trustees of Austin is strong passion to take care of animals and people. Because when you take care of their animals, you're taking care of the people.
I have seen people who can't afford to pay the bill, period, take their animals there. And then I've also seen people who give more than the cost at the wellness clinic because they have more money and they can give more, and so they donate.
As Austin has grown and as the economy has changed in 20 years, there are a lot more middle-income people that come to our clinic that can no longer afford to go to private veterinary clinics. And most of the really low-income people we provide free services for now.
Everyone that works at Animal Trustees that I've interacted with shares that caring. I mean, they think of the animal first. They don't think, does this person have enough money to pay?
We have veterinarians referring clients to us, their clients to us, because their clients cannot afford that surgical procedure in their clinic.
The impact of Animal Trustees has been profound in this community. Absolutely mind-boggling numbers. Consider that over 100,000 spay and neuter surgeries have been done over the years there, 100,000 plus. The animals that have been treated and gone through the clinic, that number is going on, 400,000. That wouldn't have happened had Animal Trustees not existed.
And so how do we do that? Well, we do that because we raise $600,000 a year to cover those subsidies. But we also don't raise our prices to cover our overhead. We raise the money to cover our overhead. We are incredibly grateful for all of the people that have supported this organization financially over all these years. Some people, we have donors that have been given to us for 20 years and continue to give to us. Those people, they're vital to our survival. We also have about 170 volunteers that help us. There are extra eyes and ears and hands and feet for our staff to be able to make sure all those animals are monitored all the time.
So comforting to come to work every day and love what you do and love the people that you work with and just have a complete blast and get to play with puppies and kitties like this.
On a slow day, we'll do 30 spays and neuters. Some days we'll do upwards of 45. The key is being surrounded by a wonderful staff. They keep me motivated because they never want to say no to anything.
I love the vets. I have great relationships with every single vet there. They treat every animal like it's their own pet.
It's very fulfilling to have a career where you're able to help so many and do so much for a community. I really think of it like a community clinic and being able to help people and to help their animals. I can't think of any other job I'd rather have.
So the future of the Animal Trustees is bright. Our next step is to move into a bigger space so that we are able to increase our capacity for the number of animals we're able to see in our clinic, and also to expand the services that we provide.
The reality is those animals are going to come. They're going to present themselves whether we have the building or not. The limiting factor is, are we going to be able to meet that demand?
Once we're in a bigger facility, we will be a hospital. We will be the community clinic, and it will be amazing.
I want to see animal trustees be 10 times bigger than they are today. There are so many animals in need. There are so many services that animal trustees provides for folks that I don't think they could ever be big enough to meet the demand, especially as we're growing like our community is. The bigger the better, I say.
I'm privileged to be a part of this organization. Wonderful, wonderful group of people. Lucky me.